Not the you on social media, not the you she pretends to have forgotten, but the version of you that once made her feel something no one else ever could. The version that saw her, not as a body, not as a checklist, but as a soul. That version of you still lives inside her. You've crossed her mind more times than she'll ever admit. In public, she wears indifference like armor. But behind closed doors, you're there. In flashes, in quiet moments, in the pause between songs, in the silence between texts. You're not just a memory, you're an emotional imprint, something that lingers beneath the surface of her everyday life. Why? Because emotional connection doesn't need permission to stay. It stays because it mattered. Most men believe that if she stops texting, stops calling, stops showing affection, it means she's moved on. But women don't always express love through action. They feel in layers. They remember in emotions. She won't replay your compliments in her head. She'll replay the feeling she had when you listened without interrupting, the calm in your voice when she was spiraling, the silence you offered when she didn't need advice, just presence. These moments, they carve permanent emotional footprints. Women don't forget how you made them feel, especially when it was rare. If you made her feel safe when the world didn't. If you made her feel seen when everyone else just looked. If you made her feel valued without asking her to perform for attention, then you didn't just pass through her life, you left a mark. It's not the grand gestures she remembers. It's not the expensive dinners or romantic texts. It's how you looked into her eyes without needing anything back. It's how you remembered that small thing she said weeks ago. It's how your voice softened when she told you she was tired. These aren't moments she posts about. They're moments she holds on to. Your silence, if grounded in strength, not bitterness, echoes louder than any words you could speak. She may be talking to someone else. She may be laughing in pictures. But late at night, when it's quiet and no one's watching, she wonders, did you forget her? Did she mean as much as she hoped? Did she imagine what you had? Your stillness makes her revisit the moments she once took for granted, because the emotional security you gave her is not easily replaced. Everyone around her might think she's fine, but moving on isn't always healing. Sometimes it's surviving. Sometimes it's pretending. Sometimes it's a mask to keep from falling apart. She may smile in photos, go on new dates, fill her calendar with noise, but her heart, it doesn't move at the same pace as her feed. A song, a scent, a stranger who gestures like you. These aren't just coincidences, they're emotional triggers. And when they happen, you're suddenly back in her world. Not in body, but in presence. And presence is more powerful than proximity. The answer is not to chase. It's not to text again, call again, beg again. The answer is an evolution. Become the man who doesn't need validation to know his worth. Become the man who's remembered not because he tried harder, but because he felt deeper. Your greatest impact won't come from trying to be unforgettable. It'll come from being undeniably real. You don't need to announce your growth. You don't need to show her your glow up. Real transformation speaks for itself. You walk differently. You talk with more purpose. You no longer need to prove anything because you remembered yourself. And in that self-remembrance, you become magnetic. She may never say it. She may never admit it. But if you ever made her feel something rare, she still thinks about you. Not out of longing, out of remembrance. You're not just a chapter. You're a theme. You're a lesson. And most of all, you're a standard. If this message stirred something in you, you're not alone. This channel is about growth, clarity, and reclaiming your emotional power as a man. Subscribe, like, comment unforgotten if you made it this far. Because your silence isn't emptiness, it's evidence of how deeply you once mattered. And still do. Let's grow together. Let's leave a mark that can't be erased. Let's be men who live so fully we become unforgettable.